Returning to ambition by popular demand, Walter Bond is a world-renowned speaker, author, and consultant who specializes in developing motivation, accountability, and leadership. A former NBA player and Hall of Fame speaker, Walter has counseled thousands on how to unlearn negative habits and discover their untapped potential. His message boils achievement down to a singular set of principles. We're excited to bring you this opportunity to hear from a true visionary and business leader who's worked with top companies and executives from around the world. Prepare to be entertained, informed, and motivated by the one and only Walter Bond.
All right, awesome. Ambit, let me tell you something. I am so happy to be here because at this point, I've been in front of you so many times. I feel like we're family. So let's have a real conversation today. Let's just talk just like we're family. In the house, in the locker room, whatever setting you think is comfortable for you, let's just have this dialogue. Now here's the truth. We're in the middle of a case of what I would call adversity. Okay? And adversity is a part of life. But must I remind you that adversity's job is to increase your value. Adversity has a job to do, and its job is to make you better and to increase your value. Now, I'm pretty sure that some of you have been in a fight before, right? You got into it with the kid in your neighborhood, at school. Some of you guys got into a barroom brawl. And the truth is, right now, Ambit, you've received what I call a two-piece, right? I remember a couple of years ago, I came to speak at your conference, and the big talk was everybody was concerned about Vistra. Oh my God, they're gonna buy us and change us, and they're gonna get rid of the network marketing, and everybody was concerned, right? That was like a little jab. We got through it, right? A little jab, we got through it. Then all of a sudden, it's a two-piece combo. And here comes that right hook called the coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. You guys got hit with a two-piece. Jab, Vistra, got through that. But nobody saw this sucker punch coming. And I know you didn't. Let me say it one more time. Adversity's job is to increase your value. And I came here today just to remind you of that fact. Now, you guys remember my story. Adversity hit me. You guys remember, I flunked out of my first high school. That's adversity, especially when your mom and dad are teachers. You guys remember my story? My father was a 6'6", 240-pound high school principal. My daddy was a country boy. When you come home from school with bad grades, that's adversity. I know we live in this politically correct world, and everyone wants to give their kids timeouts. My daddy gave timeouts. His timeouts were different. Back in the day, my dad owned 3 belts. He had a black belt for his black shoes, he had a brown belt for his brown shoes, and my daddy had a 3rd belt I never, ever saw him wear with clothes. That was adversity for me. When I came home with bad grades, my brother and sister would always say, Daddy gonna get you. And I don't know what a timeout is to you, but this was my timeout growing up. My daddy would grab that favorite leather belt, and he would spank me until he got tired. And then my dad would take a time out. But that adversity was designed to increase my value. When I got to the University of Minnesota, I thought I was all that. You remember the story? I was a high school basketball star, got my grades together. I got on campus, met my first teammate, Richard Coffey, 6'6", 240 pounds, a paratrooper. I'll be honest with you, the first time I saw his body up close was the first time I questioned God. I went to the rim to dunk on him, and he met me in midair. Bam, splat, boom. Down I go. Adversity. The best thing I did was I got up, and we didn't stop moving. Can I remind you of a book called Swim? Inside the book Swim, We teach that the shark never stops moving or they die. The only mistake you can make right now is to stop moving. The reason why shark runs the ocean is because of their movement. When I got down, I got up. Ambit, I came here to encourage you. The only mistake you can make is to stay down, because adversity is designed to increase your value. I got off that bench and I became a top 6 man in the country. But my senior year, I broke my foot not once, but twice. To this day, I got a screw in my foot. I felt so sorry for myself. I've never been hurt in my life. I felt so sorry for myself. Why can't I play in the NBA? I felt so sorry for myself. Why am I sitting on the bench? But my father taught me something very valuable. In my house, we had 2 core values. My mom was a kindergarten teacher. And every day we left the house, you know what my mama would say? Be sweet, baby. Be sweet. When I left the house, you know what my daddy would say? Go get it, son. Go get it. Be sweet. Go get it. Be sweet. Go get it. Be sweet. Go get it. My family had 2 core values. Can I ask you a question? God has given us all a chance to reset. You're spending more time at home. Isn't that a good thing? Some of you men are cooking dinner. Isn't that a good thing? Some of you guys have not spent this amount of quality time in a long, long time. See, I believe that the coronavirus was not sent here to destroy us. I believe it was here to increase our value so that we all could reset and get our value system in alignment and get our value system back right. Here's the truth. The only way you can lose in this game right now is if your mindset is not right. The only way you can lose right now is if you stop your moving. The reason why sharks run the ocean and the reason why I preach the shark mindset, because sharks never stop moving. You guys watch Shark Week, they got bruises, they got scars, but as long as the shark is moving, that's how they breathe. You got wounds, you got scars, Ambit, but I'm here to tell you, don't quit, don't give up, don't you throw in the towel, because adversity is designed to increase your value. When I broke my foot twice, to be honest, I was about to quit. I was about to give up on my NBA dream. And my daddy asked me a question. He said, son, do you believe that you're an NBA ball player? He was checking my mindset. Do you believe that you're good enough to play in the NBA? Checking my mindset. Because you told me when you left high school, you're going to graduate in 4 years. You're going to play in the NBA, and you're going to make more money in business than you did in sports. I need to check your mindset, son. Do you still believe that you're good enough to play in the NBA? Don't worry about adversity, son. Here's the truth. As long as you believe, as long as your mindset stays strong, you'll be fine. Do you believe that you're good enough to play in the NBA? I got my emotions together. I got my mindset back right. You know what I told my daddy? Yeah, I do believe. You guys already know what he said. Go get it, son. Go get it. And I could hear my mama in the background. Be sweet, baby. Be sweet. Can I remind you of Peter? I'm going to the Bible right now. Can I remind you of Peter? Peter was a loyal disciple until adversity hit. In fact, Jesus said, you know what? Before a rooster crows, you're going to denounce me not once, not twice, but 3 times. Peter looked confused. Not me, Lord. Not me. And as soon as adversity hit, Peter did exactly what he said he was going to do. In fact, the night they arrested Jesus, that was adversity. And Peter didn't act right. He took off a sword and sliced off the ear of a soldier. And Jesus stopped him and said, hey, man, that's not how we act through adversity. That's not how we respond through adversity. In fact, I came here to die. And these people arresting me are just doing their job. And Jesus picked the ear up off the ground, was not even offended, and healed the soldier's ear. Peter had a couple of moments of adversity. He didn't respond the right way. But Jesus came back to him and said, on this rock I will build. On this rock I will build. Aren't you happy that Peter didn't stop moving? Yeah, he had some wounds. Yes, he had some scars. But here's the good news. Peter never stopped moving, and it increased his value. In fact, when Jesus was on the cross, that was adversity. And he made a statement which showed his humanity. He said, God, please take this cup away from me. Even Jesus himself didn't respond initially the right way through his adversity. I'm talking to you, Ambit, because some of you are sharks, but you are not responding right. Some of you are sharks, but all of a sudden, since your mindset is not right, we're finding you beached on the sand. No, baby, you're a shark, and sharks never stop moving or they die. Jesus got his mindset right. He said, it's not thy will, but your will be done. And Jesus didn't stop moving, did he? And 3 days later, 3 days later, he rose again. 3 days later, he came and fulfilled his purpose. 3 days later, he kept moving like a shark. And when he came back in all his glory, guess what? His value was increased. I'm going to say it one more time. Adversity's job is to increase your value. Now, here's the truth. 2019 was my best year ever. My wife and I were so excited. We had our best year ever. I even got on a corporate board. And that book, Swim, became a bestseller. And all of a sudden, we heard reports about the COVID-19. All of a sudden, we heard reports about the coronavirus. All of a sudden, 3 of our kids graduated from college, and all we were thinking about, we're about to roll now. Our kids are done with college. That's an immediate pay raise. And all of a sudden, just like you, Ambit, we got hit with the COVID sucker punch. An award-winning Hall of Fame motivational speaker beached. Nobody's doing live keynotes anymore. My wife and I didn't see it coming. We got sucker punched. But then I thought about it. You know what? I've been on the road my whole life since I was 18. I've been traveling all over the world since I was 18. Man, it'll be good to be home for a little while. And I could re-engage my passion for cooking. I can spend more quality time with my family. And all those trainings that we talked about, maybe we can finish. All those methodologies we talked about, maybe we can finish. All the things we dreamt about to build a business that will live on beyond me, all of a sudden, we looked at the coronavirus as an opportunity, a gift of time to increase our value. And here's the truth. Ambit, my wife and I have been in our business, working our butt off. Why? Because sharks never stop moving. I talk to other speakers, oh my God, when is this over? Where's the vaccine? Oh my God, when is this over? This sucks. Walter, what are you up to? I'm working hard as ever. You are? Oh, absolutely. We're working on methodologies. We're working on assessments. We're working on a coaching program. All the things we meant to get to or can never get to, we see this as a gift from God, a gift of time, and I get to sleep in my bed every single night. We got a sleep number bed. Wow, I'm number 50. And when I snore too much, my wife knows exactly what button to hit. Can I ask you a question, family? When you got hit with that two-piece, Vistra, COVID-19, tell me the truth. Did you keep the right mindset? Did you make sure to remind yourself that sharks never stop moving or they die? One of my favorite passages from the book, if it won't challenge you, it won't change you. If it won't challenge you, it won't change you. Peter got challenged and it changed him. Jesus got challenged and it changed him. In my life, I've been challenged, but it changed me. And it increased my value. Watch this. Basketball was not my purpose, it's the platform. Basketball was not my purpose, it's the platform. I needed to go through some adversity so God can set up the platform for the purpose. Thank God for that broken foot. Thank God for sitting on that bench. Thank God for going through adversity. Why? Because I know what it feels like. I know what it sounds like. Isn't that why God sent Jesus to this earth? So he can bleed like we bleed. He can bruise like we bruise. He can cry like we cry. And he's the conduit that got us back in covenant with God. Can I ask you a question, friend? Are you allowing this adversity to increase your value? You guys who have read the book, you know the story. We always talk about the shark and the shark mindset. Sharks never stop moving or they die. Sharks only look up. They never look down. They never look down. They never look down. Can I ask you a question? We're amongst friends. We're amongst family. Are you looking down? Have you set your eyes on the wrong thing? Have you focused on what's wrong with the coronavirus and not what's right about the coronavirus and giving us all a chance to reset? See, sharks never look down. I've talked to people who've read the book and they come to me, Walter, I swim with sharks. You're right. As long as you stay beneath the shark, they don't even notice you. As long as you stay beneath the shark, they don't even know you're there. And but whatever you dwell on, you'll dwell in. Can I encourage you to meditate on things that are good and pure and perfect and lovely and of good report? When the coronavirus hit us, many of our speaker colleagues focused on the wrong thing, but my wife and I pivoted, and we began to focus on the right things. We talk about the shark mindset. We talk about the sucker fish. But right now, I want to talk about that parasite. Oh yeah, swim is about the shark, the suckerfish, and the parasite. See, people who read the book and talk about the book, they always talk about the shark, they always talk about the suckerfish, but we got to talk about the parasite. You know the suckerfish's job is to connect to the shark. Ambit is a shark, and you, as an agent, is a suckerfish, and your job is to stay connected. I mean, fully connected, and let this shark go. Let the shark move. Let this shark breathe. A suckerfish gets free rides in the ocean. A suckerfish gets to eat the scraps every single time a shark makes the kill. So let's talk about that parasite. Because it's about the shark, the suckerfish, and the parasite. You guys ready for this? The shark has a natural predator. The same predator that attacks a shark is attacking some of you right now. A parasite has two entry points. They can come in through the nostrils or they can come in through the gills. If they come in through the nostrils, they attack the brain. Can I ask you a question, Ambit? How have you been thinking lately? What's your mindset lately? Have you been focused on what's right or what's wrong? Have you been focused on opportunity? Have you been focused on all the negativity? If the parasite gets in the nostril, it attacks the shark's brain. If the parasite attacks the shark's thinking, it's going to slowly weaken the shark. I met you with those purple jackets. I met you with those gold jackets. I remember beating Brian McGlure. Wow, that's a big shark. I remember meeting Alan Johnson. Whoa, that's a big shark. I remember meeting that whole group. Their whole theme is a shark. Can I ask you a question? There's two kinds of sharks. It's the shark that never stops moving or they die. Or it's the shark that allowed the parasite to get into the nostrils and attack the brain. If your mindset ain't right, my friend, it'll be impossible for adversity to do its job. You know what's the crazy thing? My wife and I finished this teamwork training we've been talking about for years. This coronavirus has been our biggest blessing. Now we got Honda lined up. Now we got Home Depot lined up. Now we got T-Mobile lined up to learn about our teamwork methodology. If it wasn't for the coronavirus, we would not have had time to increase our value. If it wasn't for my two broken feet, I would not have had a platform as a motivational speaker to teach you. No one can stop you but you. The suckerfish has one job to do. The suckerfish has one job to do. All the suckerfish's job to do when it's connected to the shark is to eat the parasite. You got one job. You get free meals. You get free rides. You are connected to something powerful, but the shark needs you. Come on, suckerfish. Right now. The shark needs you to protect it from the parasite. No matter how powerful a shark is, if that parasite gets into the nostril, if they get into the gill, they affect the breathing and they affect the thinking of the shark. All we gotta do is keep our mindset right. All we gotta do is to keep moving forward, because adversity, if it won't challenge you, it won't change you. We learned the story about Peter. You just heard the story about Jesus. Without adversity, neither one of these men would have ever been the Savior, would have ever been the rock on which the Christian foundation was built. We got an email last week from our publisher, and he showed us the book sales of Swim. We made a best-selling list 4 months in a row before the COVID-19 hit. And Wednesday or Thursday last week, he sent us a report where in September, he said, hey, we had a couple of tough months, but in September, we had a couple of down months, but in September, let me tell you something. If Jesus rose again, you will too. If Jesus rose again, you can too. Because he knows his purpose. He knows why he came. And here's the truth. The only way he got his mind right, he reminded himself of his purpose. I came so you can have life, and life more abundantly. So even though I gotta die, I gotta remind myself every single day why I came. In other words, it's not about me. It's about you. It's not about me. I came to serve. I came to wash your feet. So if you're struggling with your attitude right now, if you're struggling with your encouragement right now, if you're struggling with your mindset right now, do yourself a favor and remind yourself of your purpose, and remember, you didn't come for you. You came to be a servant for others. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I heard a report a couple of weeks ago that there's 40 million Americans filing for unemployment. You mean to tell me there's 40 million? We don't even count Japan yet. I don't know how to count Japan yet, but I heard a report that there's 40 million Americans filing for unemployment. You mean there's men worried about providing for their family? There's men and women who've been laid off their job, who are afraid, who are scared, who are fearful. Ambit, this is not a bad situation. This is a great opportunity if you focus and understand that adversity, it didn't come to destroy you. Adversity came to increase your value. Here's my final thought and I'm done. There was a wedding. And at this wedding, they ran out of wine. And Jesus' mother said, hey, Jesus, come here, son. They ran out of wine. You know what to do. When someone runs out, you are here. When someone runs out, you will provide. When someone runs out, all you got to do is call on that name. Jesus, come here. They've run out of wine. And Jesus gave them instructions. And take those water basins and fill them up with water. Take those water basins and fill them up with the word. Take those water basins and fill them up with me. And when you dip that ladle into the water basin, it's going to come out wine. And when they tasted the wine, you know what they said? Most people serve the good wine first. And when you get a little tipsy, they slide into cheap wine. But not you. Not you. You save the best wine for last. When my NBA career was over, I had no money coming in, but I held on to that. And I meditated on that word both day and night, that Jesus, you saved the best for last. Yes, I played in the NBA, but you saved the best for last. No money's coming in. Oh, I've been there. But I understand that my Savior, who I profess, always saves the best for last. So I came to encourage you. I don't know where your mindset has been, but I came here today to be your shark. I came here today to give you a message, Ambit. The sharks never stop moving, or they die. Sharks never stop moving, or they die. The only way you can miss the promise, the only way that you can violate the covenant is if you stop moving. My wife and I have been through adversity. We filed bankruptcy, but we kept moving. Our basketball career ended, but we kept moving. When this coronavirus hit, we got excited because we understand the pattern. That adversity every single time increased our value. Adversity every single time lifted up our platform. Adversity every single time has put us in a position to be bigger, stronger, and faster. And Ambit, this is a family conversation. Ambit, I'm your brother, and you guys know me, and you know my heart. Adversity was designed not only to increase your value as an individual, adversity is designed to increase Ambit's value. So that little two-piece, we got through that. Coronavirus was the second piece of the two-piece. We're going to get through that too. As long as you keep your mindset right, and as long as you don't stop moving. And remember, no one can stop you but you. And as my mom and daddy used to tell me, be sweet, baby. Be sweet. And go